right, so are you ready? I think it's time for another deep dive. And this time, we're heading into the world of Real Madrid.
The legendary club.
Exactly. And, you might think you know Real Madrid. I mean, they're one of the biggest clubs on the planet. But trust me, we've dug up some pretty surprising facts that might just, change how you see this football giant.
Yeah. Real Madrid's history is, it's a lot more than just, trophies and titles and all that. I mean, don't get me wrong, they've got plenty of those.
Oh, yeah.
But there are all these fascinating stories, remarkable achievements, and things you just wouldn't expect. It makes them truly unique.
Absolutely. Okay, so to kick things off, let's talk about a manager who, I think everyone knows, Zinedine Zidane. I mean, come on, the guy's a legend.
For sure.
But get this, okay? And this is where it gets interesting. He actually won, wait for it, 8 managerial trophies before he even had his 7th defeat as a manager.
Yeah, no, it's incredible. I mean, to have that level of success right out of the gate, it's almost unheard of in football.
It is.
It really speaks to Zidane's leadership, his tactical genius. And to be honest, it also says something about Real Madrid, doesn't it? They just seem to attract, the best.
The best players, the best manager.
Right. They demand excellence, and, Zidane certainly delivered that.
He did. And that makes me think about all the other incredible managers who've walked the sidelines at the Bernabeu. It's amazing, really. But, speaking of making an impact, did you know that Real Madrid has never, not once, lost game where Fede Valverde scored?
It's pretty wild when you think about it.
I mean, what are the chances, right?
It can't just be a coincidence, can it? I mean, Valverde, he brings so much energy. That box-to-box style, he lifts the whole team.
Yeah, he's everywhere on the pitch.
Contributes defensively, offensively. It's like, maybe he's a good luck charm.
Maybe he is. But, I mean, it really highlights how a single player can just change the dynamic.
Oh, for sure.
Now, okay, we got to talk about this. When it comes to Real Madrid, you can't ignore their reputation for those last-minute heroics.
Oh, those dramatic finishes, yeah.
I mean, come on. They've scored the most last-minute goals in the 21st century, which is insane.
Yeah. It's like they just refuse to accept defeat.
They do.
There's this mentality, I think, at Real Madrid, a belief that they can always, pull off the impossible, and they do it so often.
It's unbelievable.
They thrive under pressure.
Speaking of making an impact, let's talk about Marco Asensio. Now, this guy, get this, he scored on his debut, his very first game, in every single competition he played for Real Madrid. That's every competition.
That's not just talent. That's, it's destiny, almost.
Right. I mean, think about the pressure of a debut and a score in multiple competitions, no less.
Yeah. It shows you the level of composure, of talent that Asensio has, the ability to rise to the occasion under pressure.
Exactly. And, okay, we got to talk about another player who's making history, right? Vinicius Jr., he holds the record for, wait for it, the most Champions League knockout goals and assists for a Brazilian player ever.
That's incredible. I mean, that's putting him in some pretty elite company. It is.
He's a game changer, Vinicius Jr. The pace, the dribbling, the way he creates chances. He's a nightmare for defenders in the Champions League, and this record, it just proves how much influence he's had on the biggest stage in European football.
Yeah, that's a big one. All right, okay, so let's shift gears for a second here. I came across the stat about Toni Kroos, and, it kind of blew my mind. Apparently, he went 30,372 minutes, that's over 22 hours of game time, without a single misplaced pass.
No way.
I know, right?
That's unreal.
How is that even humanly possible?
I mean, we all know Kroos is known for his passing, but this is something else.
It is.
It's a level of skill, of focus, decision-making it's almost superhuman. To be that accurate for that long, it's astounding.
Yeah.
And it also speaks to, Real Madrid's philosophy, that controlled, possession-based football. Yeah, it's the kind of stat that, I don't know, makes you just sit back and appreciate the beauty of the game. Okay, so how about a little Real Madrid trivia, but on the lighter side, Did you know that back in 1980, Real Madrid won the Copa del Rey against their own reserve team?
Oh, yeah, I remember that. It's a funny story, actually. Their reserve team, Castilla, they had this incredible run.
Wow.
And they ended up facing the senior team in the final.
That must have been awkward.
Right. But, I mean, it shows you the depth of talent at Real Madrid, although I imagine the celebrations were a little strange.
I bet. Okay, so let's get back to some of these jaw-dropping stats, shall we? Hugo Sanchez, talk about a legendary striker. He scored all 38 of his La Liga goals in the 1989-90 season with first-touch finishes.
38 goals, all first touch.
I know. It's crazy. Hugo Sanchez was, well, he was a master, to have that level of skill, timing, anticipation, and to score that many all with one touch. I mean, that shows you just how good he was. It really does. And, okay, this last fact, this one really puts things into perspective. Luka Modric, the midfield maestro, he's actually played more seasons with Vinicius Jr. than he did with, get this, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Wow, time flies, huh?
It does.
And that says a lot about Modric. His longevity, how he's adapted to, the changes at the club. He's been there through it all, played with so many different stars, and he's still going. His impact at Real Madrid, I mean, it's huge.
Absolutely massive. So there you have it. We've just scratched the surface, really, of Real Madrid's history and their legacy. And hopefully you've learned a thing or two, maybe even gained a deeper appreciation for this club.
Because these facts, they reveal a club that's constantly evolving, pushing boundaries, creating its own story. And it makes you wonder, what's next? What does the future hold for Real Madrid and all their stars?
That's the big question, isn't it? And remember, this was just a quick glimpse into Real Madrid. There's so much more out there to discover. So keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See ya.